Click accept for me, guys. Cool. So I wanted to cover a few things. First, if there's anybody battling with vices, right? Weed, alcohol, porn, procrastination, video games, too much television, too much social media scrolling, any form of thing that is a pain avoidance, right? Avoiding some area of your life that you know that you need to use, like even working or working out can become a vice in a sense, because sometimes we avoid the work that we need to do by the work that we like to do, right? Making like, oh, I need to lose weight, so I'm just going to continue to work on my business, right? Or I need to make more money, but I'm just going to keep on working out. Or oh, I'm alone and I've been alone for 5 years, but I'm just going to keep on making more money until I actually start a relationship or start going on dates, whatever it may be. If it's a vice like weed, alcohol, porn, masturbation, procrastination, too much television, too much video games, scrolling on social media, or if it's even a healthy vice in a sense that you are just so addicted to studying, self-development, reading books, workaholism, whatever, where you're actually avoiding becoming a well-rounded man and actually focusing on the other areas. I wanted to address that real quickly because I see it all the time and I see it even with myself when I talked about my story earlier with when I battled with marijuana, right? And I battled with alcohol, right? My dad was an alcoholic, so I never got too into alcohol because I saw how it destroyed his life. But when it comes to marijuana destroyed my life for years because I would smoke and smoke and smoke when I was alone. I would smoke when I was bored. I would smoke when I was unhappy. I would smoke all these times to avoid the actually facing the problems in my life and actually fixing them, right? And it was my whole life didn't start improving until I actually grabbed the bull by the horns and said, I actually am alone. I actually am not taking my fitness and health. I'm not taking my dreams seriously enough. I know weed is holding me back, right? And I grabbed the bull by the horns and I decided to quit weed completely. It took me 2 years to completely be free of it, meaning that I haven't smoked it since. But I quit, and it took me about 2 years smoking it on and off. I wasn't smoking every day, but literally from that moment that I decided to quit, even in that 2 year process, my discipline came up, my focus, my energy, I had ambition to reach my goals, right? So whatever vice that you might battle with, if it's overeating, right? Gluttony in any sense, over consumption of any sense of television, social media, even self-development, fitness, eating, drugs, whatever it may be, like it will literally control your life, and you're literally going to run to it anytime you feel uncomfortable, anytime you're faced with that pain, anytime you're faced with being alone, anytime you're faced with being bored, you'll run to that vice. And literally for years, if not until you die, until you decide to actually change the problem, it's not actually solving the problem. It's just putting a band-aid to make the problem feel better for the moment. It's temporary. It's not fixing the issue at hand. So I just wanted to expand that for you guys on the group call to just encourage you guys, if you see yourself over consuming or using anything that's like a crutch, any vice that could be holding you back from your greatness, holding you back from making the money you want, leaving the legacy you want, having the relationships you want, having the body you want, whatever you see any of these vices holding you back, I just want to highly encourage you guys to write down on a piece of paper what truly inside your soul, inside your consciousness, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to stop doing, and you know what you need to do. So I just highly encourage you guys to write that out on a piece of paper and actually start tackling the bull, grabbing the bull by the horns and say, no, I'm going to drop this vice. All right, I'm going to stop overeating. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop doing these things. And I'm actually going to stop doing it. And it's going to change my life. Right. Because it was stopping weed completely changed my life. Right. I know lots of alcoholics that if they stop drinking, it would change their life. Right. And drugs could be the hardest thing for people to drop. Right. For some people, it's like porn and masturbation. Some people, it's, they have all these different goals. So I just really wanted to encourage you guys to drop vices. All right. And a few different tips I guess I can give you guys is you are a byproduct of your environment. You are a byproduct of the friends you hang around, right? So you want to get yourself out of those situations, right? and those triggers, whatever trigger it is for whatever vice you're battling with, you want to figure out what those triggers are and actually kind of get away from, like, just get away from whatever they may be that trigger you to want to use that substance or that vice. You want to get around away from those friends that encourage you and force you to go partying or do XYZ that you don't want to do anymore. Find different friends, begin to distance yourself from those friends, right? And also your environment. Start getting yourself in environments that aren't using those substances or those things, and start getting around other men who are aligned towards your vision, towards what you want to do. So example would be like, okay, instead of hanging out the bar, hang out at the gym. Instead of hanging out, at with a whole bunch of people playing video games, or I don't know, whatever bad thing you're doing, and start going to networking events with business owners, whatever it may be. Like, get yourself in around environments of people that are aligned towards your vision and goals. So that's what I had to say there. I know that's a big subject, and I think one or two of you guys wanted to comment. Is there any comments on that before I move on to the next subject? Or any of you guys want to share? Because I know all one of you guys have, if you aren't currently battling with something, you have done in the past. This is human nature.
Yes, sir.
Cool, Justice. What do you want to share, bro?
What's up, man?
Yo, I'm doing a group call.
I would have something to say if you guys are interested.
Yeah, what's up, Amin?
I've struggled with procrastination, and the more I kind of dug deeper into figure out why, I think part of it, is something that you don't want to acknowledge, or maybe could be pride, but some of it could be like fear. Like sometimes, like that might kind of lead to like self-sabotage, or at the same time, maybe some things you just want to deal with, or you just drag your feet on. So for me, it's like if I feel like I can't go like all the way on it, I kind of do things that might make me uncomfortable. So I've kind of just be more like incrementalist approach. So that's kind of what I've done. So things that, I would have not like considered months ago when we were speaking, you and me, Devin, I started doing now, especially when it comes to like how you message people online versus, when you talk in person. Like, I don't have an issue so much with talking with people in person. I think it's just more of online, because I guess there's that fear with how like your messages can be misinterpreted for several reasons. But I'm doing my best, but again, every now and then I'm going to be dealing with some procrastination or something, or some like limitations. But all I can do now is just kind of like, just the longer you stay in the game, I guess the more you're kind of bound to kind of see yourself being proven wrong for the better.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure other people have dealt with that. A lot of it's like fear of judgment, of failure. If you failed, judgment of your parents, judgment of other people online, judgment of your friends. A lot of it's the fear of judgment, right? Looking stupid, which is something I never had a problem with. I am not afraid of looking stupid. But
yeah. I mean, I think also keep in mind, I think a lot of it too, a lot of people, like, if you notice the difference, a lot of people, like, even though we say, oh, we don't care what other people think, we tend to kind of seek validation from others, even our families. I understand it's can be like normal, sometimes healthy, but I've kind of just now.
Don't share your dreams or your goals with your family for the most part, because you're not looking for cheerleaders, you're looking for coaches.
Yeah.
I made that post because most people, like literally your friends and family, unless you're on the same path as you are and your vision and your goals and this and that, like it could be with nutrition. Why are you on that diet? Or why are you going to start that business? Or why are you going to post that content? Or why are you whatever it is? Because they literally do not have the same goals, don't have the same beliefs, don't have the same vision as you. So why would they believe in you? Why would they know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Right.
The thing that I say is this to anybody, like pretty much like if you're gonna seek validation, find it in your contributions and what you do, and like if you made a difference. Like telling you right now, like I don't seek validation anymore, even if it's from my own parents. Because there was a time where I kind of told one of them that, hey, I got like clients or so as like coach, and basically like I didn't see that kind of enthusiasm. And then since then, like this was months ago, and I told them, and I decided I'm never going to share anything until the results.
I don't share things unless people ask me. For the
Yeah.
most part, like I'm not, for the most part, I'm not sharing unless people ask me. But the only thing, your validation should come from your who you are, your character, right? Like if you're a Christian, your validation comes, your body, your identity is found in Christ. But
Yeah.
in a real world sense, right? Just being a human being, your worth should come from like your character, like being a man of your word, right? And then doing what you said you were going to do, and then your worth comes from your work, right? If you're
And
really
yeah,
putting the work, I
you have
mean,
a
your
point.
validation, and then eventually, I mean, to a certain degree, your validation does come from your results, because if you are not getting results, that's something that needs to change. Because
Yeah, and
the
then
people who get results, the more results you get, the more worthy you feel, right?
the thing I was gonna add to it too, like I like that point talk about character, because I saw somewhere that I think you would appreciate. They say most people have good intentions. It's people with character that keep them, like keep the promises.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
make
I
the
mean,
promises. Because I mean, I'm telling you right now, I've had people like you would never doubt their integrity or so. People who just basically like, like their status, their rank, whatever, they just making like statements that they like that to the point later on only to never really hold on to it or never this with the expectation number. It's kind of like when you hear somebody like during your tough time saying, if you need anything, let me know. And personally, I don't believe anybody owes me anything, but if I only ask for people like to take up on it because I want to like test them to see if they really are like,
talk
if
is
they're
cheap.
really,
I never
yeah.
use that frame. I never say that. If you never need anything, let me know. I never
Well,
really do that, because like I actually don't know that many people that say it. But yeah, most of the time it's a whole bunch of baloney, right? A lot of my sales process new, and this is thing too. Stop asking people how they're doing if you don't care about how they're doing. Really, I get straight to the point. Like, hey, bro, I'm here to change your life. XYZ. Do you need help accomplishing XYZ? Right. And I don't
yeah.
really ask people how they're doing unless I genuinely care.
Not true. I mean, I've just used the whole let me know if you need anything because I actually genuinely put weight on those words. But like I said,
Yeah.
like if get to the point, don't beat around the bush. I get what you mean there. So I figured it's just them like don't be emotionally attached to a sale you never had.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Cool, man. Robert, did you want to share something?
No, like I said, I'm dialed in, but it's funny. I like 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, I posted on my Instagram story a quote that I heard like an hour ago. It says, dare to be misunderstood. Yeah, so you can reach more of the people that you actually care about. So, probably, I'm not sure what the guy's name is, but you might care a little bit too much about what people think. So I really like that one, and I just posted it tonight. It's kind of apropos, but dare to be misunderstood and just do your thing, and don't worry about what people think.
Yeah, you gotta be your authentic self for sure. I mean, can't be fake to be somebody else, right? And I mean, a lot of people won't like mess with you when you're your authentic self, right? But cool. Next thing I want to move on to, guys, the universe. Paul, you want to share something?
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in and say, Dev, I know whatever what Amon just said, that's been my struggle. I've been having this problem where I had to take a step back and edit or eliminate relationships because friends come in seasons, and it's hard because you want to tell your family good news and then they just put you down. Like how you said it, coaches, not cheerleaders. And I had a question on that topic too, really quick.
Yes.
So let's say you get somebody that says, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I just feel like the best response is to not even reply, "Oh, I'm working on it." I would just send like a picture or a tag of a video instead of just like, "Oh, I'm working on it." Like, isn't that better replying with an action message showing like something?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Yeah, definitely. Most people don't care about what you're doing. Most people don't care.
Yep.
And really, I mean, most people are care about themselves, as they should, just like you care about yourself and your goals, like you should. And everyone just needs to care about themselves. Like you literally, okay, if you take care of you, that gets you in a position to be able to take care of others if you need. Right. But you don't need other people. A lot of this stuff, like literally, if you're looking for validation, like cheerleaders, this and that, like Amen or Paul or whatever, and you go to your mom or you go to your family, hey, I got a client. Hey, I joined a new business program. Hey, you're seeking validation for which you're seeking false achievements. Because if the people are going to say congratulations on joining the business program, or congratulations on investing that much money in you, or congratulations on getting a client, really that you're looking for like this validation from something that you're doing, versus like the validation should come from you actually doing it yourself, and you don't need it from other people. Yeah, false achievement is like literally like people saying how great you are, or all the great things you're doing, or getting that from your family, or this and that, is actually going to hold you back from your dreams and hold you back from accomplishing it, because in reality that stuff isn't going to help get you anywhere. Right. Feeling good about, like, you should just feel good about yourself. If you got a client, or if you're making the right moves to move towards your vision, you should really just feel good about yourself, because you're doing the right things. You're being a man of your word. You're moving in the right direction. And the market in the world is actually giving you feedback that you're doing the right thing. That's where your validation comes from. And really, I mean, unless people start asking you, oh, what are you doing, or this and that, then you tell them, and then of course they're going to congratulate you for the most part. But if you're seeking out telling people your accomplishments and XYZ, you're literally seeking validation. There's no reason to go out and tell XYZ, like reach out, hey, I did this, I did that. Right. I used to do that with my girlfriend all the time until I realized that was some weak, soft baby boy crap. Like, hey, babe. Yeah, I'm like, hey, baby, yeah, I signed up another three clients today. And then at one point, I literally questioned myself, why am I telling her? Because I want her to be my cheerleader. I want her to support. I want her to like tell me good job, this and that. Why do I want that? Why do I need that? I don't. So like I would just question yourself on that. If you're seeking out to your family or friends, or these people, like for marketing reasons, you guys will see me talk about certain things, accomplishments and XYZ, because it's a part of marketing, social proof, right? Like telling people what's up, right? But it's not, not seeking validation from your friends or social media or XYZ. Another thing, like some of you guys that struggle with social media, like getting likes on your posts, getting views on your posts, doing this and that, like literally being afraid of the pursue your dreams and goals, or put yourself out there, because you're so focused on getting the validation from them that you're afraid to even put yourself out there. And you need to look at the numbers as far as seeing how good your content is doing, or how good your business is doing. But it shouldn't be coming from a place of validating your self-worth based off how many likes or how many views you get, or how many followers you have, or how many, really any of that stuff. But cool. Yeah, I guess I'll dive a little bit more into procrastination, because that really, guys, all of you guys, especially Allman and Paul. I know Robert's been feeling it, but a huge part of it is like, if you're literally stuck growing your business because you're in procrastination, you need to realize you're going to die 1 year from now, 5 years. You don't know when you're going to die. You might get hit from a bus tomorrow. And you need to realize that you didn't accomplish your dreams because you had your head stuck up your ass because you're afraid of other people's opinions, and you're afraid of what your mama's going to say, or you're afraid what that one person's going to say, or you're afraid looking stupid. You're afraid of not accomplishing your goals. And you literally could die without accomplishing any of your goals or visions or dreams. Right. And that's literally that should be enough motivation for you. Should be more afraid of not reaching your goals and living your vision than being afraid of other people's opinions or anything of the things that are holding you back. That's what drives me insane. If I literally died a year from now, 5 years from now, or when I'm 90 and didn't accomplish my dreams and vision, I would feel so shamed, so guilty, and just I'd feel like a piece of crap. And all of you guys should feel like a piece of crap if you literally are letting fear hold you back from living your dreams. Because if you believe in God or some higher being, you are literally gifted your talents, gifted visions, gifted the greatness inside of yourself of who you could be. You were gifted all of this stuff. And it's just a disgrace and completely selfish and ungrateful to not take advantage of the opportunities living in America. All of you guys live in America, have the opportunities to accomplish what you're doing and the visions you have and the resources you have to be able to impact lives and create the life you want and the vision you want. It's just completely ungrateful. And if you were to die tomorrow or next year or 5 years from now, you need to feel like that weight of living in fear and how that would actually make you feel. Like if you weren't to actually go after your goals because of fear. Still, like I talked to Paul about this, screaming at him, still hasn't done crap since the last time we talked. Right? If you were to die today, how would you feel? If I were to die today, I would still have some sense of like, damn, so I didn't do it. But I would have a lot more fulfillment than you, Paul, because at least I actually give my best every single day, and I go after it. And I'm not saying you don't, but I'm saying when it comes to your dreams and visions, right? Are you actually doing everything it takes to create that dream and vision? And to the degree that you are, the more fulfilled you'll feel about your life in the current moment. And then when you're about to die, you'll feel more fulfilled with what you did, right? And to the degree that you don't push yourself to the max and completely chase that vision and dream and that goal that you have, you're going to have more regret, right? Any comments? I just want to make, like, all of you guys are going to die. So make sure you know what you want in this life and what your vision is and this and that, and you're trading the life that you have right now for the life you want to have. And it's always, at least you're progressing, because a lot of it, as men, a lot of your fulfillment comes from progressing, and a lot of your fulfillment comes from actually fulfilling the vision and goals that you set. And a lot of the joy and happiness you seek come from that versus like short-term happiness, like giggles with your girlfriend or whatever, some funny comedy show or whatever. I don't know. Like a lot of that fulfillment, that joy is going to come from progressing in life and fulfilling the goals and visions you have, whatever they may be. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, but you don't need to be ripped. Paul? Cool.
Everything you said was 100% spot on, and I know me and Amin have the same struggles, so it's kind of good to know that you could just call us out and just straight up be blunt, because it sucks because you want your family and your friends supporting you as we progress, and then they say the negative narrative, like saying, "Oh, don't work with Dev," because remember how I told you off the call, remember? And I showed you the text from my own family and putting you down. So it kind of puts me down, because it's like, okay, well, you don't know who this person's in, so you know what? Your best, like I admit, you meet people that's not even your blood related family, and they're cheering you on, like not cheering on, but they're coach, like, you know what I mean? They're not negative, they're positive. Like when you surround yourself with this like-minded community, like we're all in this together, so we're not gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna put you down, I'm gonna put you up. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I stopped sharing all that stuff with my family years ago, because I noted, oh, they're going to put their limiting beliefs. They have limiting beliefs. They have these things, and they're going to project them onto you. That's what people do.
Yep.
They project their own beliefs and their own. So that's why me as your coach, I project who you could be. I see you as that ripped guy. I see you as that business owner. I see you for that, because that's how I believe. That's my beliefs. So I project that onto you. But people that have limiting beliefs, yeah, we all have limiting beliefs, but they'll project their own insecurities and project their own things onto you. And so I stopped sharing, because unless you have like some awesome ass badass parents, and in certain degrees we all do, but a lot of them are going to place their own limiting beliefs and insecurities and XYZ onto you. And that's not always going to fit your vision and goals. Like I noticed a habit from all of my family and this and that when I told them about XYZ, they put me down, and XYZ, I noticed that habit. So guess what I did? I stopped sharing it with them. Because unless that's going to help me reach my goal, then why would I seek it? Why would I take their advice? And why would I continue to come back to them and listen to them about it?
Spot on.
I told you the story. When I was 18 years old, I invested $1,000 into going to a real estate event to learn wholesaling. I know Robert will enjoy this, but Dean Graziosi, it was $1,000 3-day event on learning how to do wholesaling, right? And I invested $1,000. I told my dad about it after I already signed up, and he said, he's like, they're ripping you off. It's a fucking scam. You're stupid. That's what my dad told me. And I was like, I'm all like, well, I don't want to be like you. So I'm gonna go learn from these guys because these guys are rich. So I'm gonna go learn from these guys. But that's literally what my dad told me, right? They told me, oh, it's a scam, they're gonna rip you off and XYZ, right? And from that moment on, I don't think I've ever told my dad anything about my investments or what I'm doing or any of that stuff. I think that the next time I saw my dad was probably a year or 2 years later, and I came to him and I visited him. I was like, yeah, I'm going to Hawaii. I'm taking my girl to Hawaii, right? So you could share that stuff, because when you start sharing successes with your family, like, hey, XYZ, like I'm doing XYZ, boom, 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 they might say, oh, is that stuff actually working out for you? They might actually say that. Like they might actually show interest then because you're actually showing results or whatever. But I want to share that stuff because they're not gonna a lot of them won't support you unless you have some badass parents, right? Which I know all of you guys are gonna be or are. I know Robert's a parent, I think, but and then you support them. Like, yeah, you could be anything. I made that post by Emma Let, if I can pronounce his name right, whatever, where he says, you tell your kids you could be anything, but who are you being? Are you living by example that you could be anything, right? Because that's what, like, they're going to follow. They don't follow your words, they follow your actions, right? So for all of you guys that are going to be future parents, I know I'm going to be a future parent, right? I want my kid to be like, my dad's a badass. And so when he says I can do anything, I know, but he's a living example that he could, like, he set out his vision of who he wanted to be and what he wanted to do and what he wanted to have in his life. And he did everything it took to make it happen. And he actually made it happen. So when he tells me that I can do the same, I know it's possible, right? So, because if you had those type of parents, Paul, I don't know, like maybe they would be like, yeah, you could do anything. I want to be a Hollywood actress, or I wanted to be, the top real estate agent. I don't know. And I did it, so yeah, Paul, you could do what, that's what you want to do. Okay. You can do it. No problem. But a lot of people don't live that reality.
And Dev, can I interject really, really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Kind of like, I think want to bring this to everybody's attention, because I actually went to a real estate event and I paid $2,000 for a whole day. I told my closest high school friends recently, and they all laughed at me. It's a scam. You're gonna get ripped off. Ha ha ha. And then you know what? Here's the best comeback I could tell them if this ever happened to you guys. Tell me, you know what? Well, I would rather get brainwashed by a millionaire than your broke ass. Boom. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I told you about my mindset around investing is very simple. I don't care what it is. Nobody could rip me off. I invest whatever. I think the most I've invested up front was $10,000. I don't care what they gave me. I will literally learn something that's worth $10,000. How did they sell my ass on something for $10,000? What was their process of selling me? Just the process of marketing and sales within itself, you can learn. How did they get there from your money that they invest, your hardworking money, they took it from you. You gave them their money. How did they convince me to give them their money? Right there. There's a lesson right there that's worth just as much as you invested, if not a lot more. Right? Just from there. Even before you even get whatever they just promised you. And you go to the event or whatever. How did they sell me on going to this event? How did they actually present this event? What's the marketing behind it? Like, I'll learn from all that stuff, even before they even start teaching me a thing about real estate or whatever, right? So I think that's very valuable, but that's cool stuff, man. Yeah, I mean, you want to take all of you guys here, or for the most part, are from here because you wanted to get a body like DC. Maybe not exactly like me, but you see his results, so I'm going to take his advice when it comes to XYZ. Like, literally, you pay people to get results similar to what they have, or at least what they can provide, like examples, like testimonials and whatever. And then you literally pay for that information. And so if you see somebody that's a millionaire, obviously they know how to make $1 million. Or you see somebody with whatever, then yeah, obviously you're going to pay money to learn what they have. They're not perfect human beings. Of course they make mistakes. Of course they have flaws, but at least in that one area, they know what they're talking about. And you believe it's worth the investment to learn how to get results, or at least similar results, right? Simple stuff. Cool, guys. I think we've been going on for about 30 minutes, so I'll just leave it Q&A. Any question? Yeah, greatest coach in the world. I mean, that's a mindset. That's a mindset. I'm not going to believe there's another coach out there. I've talked to thousands of coaches, guys. You know, I've talked to thousands of coaches, right? And I know for my price point, for my program, there's not somebody providing more value. And I know for a fact, most coaches, I haven't met a coach that cares about his clients more than me. Because I actually genuinely, the reason I'm a coach is not for money. I'm a coach because I want to change people's lives. So I will call myself the greatest coach. It's a mindset, right? I don't care if what other people have to say about it, right? But you guys, hey, I'm the greatest real estate, and Robert, I'm the greatest. He's gonna copy DC. He's gonna put I'm the greatest real estate agent. And he's gonna start shaking hands with people. Hi, I'm the greatest real estate agent in the world. I'm the greatest real estate agent in the world. My name's Robert, right? And boom, they're like, "Whoa, what makes you say that?" Well, hey, for my commission rate or whatever, I'm the best in the game, right? Robert likes that. Cool. Any questions, guys?
Gotta get my grip tighter though for more working out.
Yeah. Greatest real estate agent in the world. I mean, there's no reason to do anything and not be the best of the best. I grew up basketball superstar. Some of you guys know I was leading scorer in my league, varsity freshman, sophomore, junior year, fell off because I got into drugs. So I didn't play my senior year. But I was basketball superstar. I've just studied LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant's mindset, right? Like they're the mindset of like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to be the best at it. So whatever you do, right? Cool. Any questions, guys, or is that good to go? All you guys, you're gonna be the greatest at what you do from now on. Cool. Awesome. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend. And obviously, and I truly do mean this for you guys. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, guys. Step into greatness. I'll see you guys tomorrow or see you guys next time I see you. All right. Have a wonderful night. Peace. Later.